What's up guys, John here and welcome back to another Dark Souls 3 video. Today I'm just going to be showing you guys how to parry in Dark Souls 3 PvP. Now obviously this first clip isn't in PvP, this is just the best location for me to learn how to parry better. Now what I would recommend using to parry is the Castus, which if you don't know is basically just the knuckle duster from GTA 5. You can use this as a weapon, which I actually do, but I two-handed, then I would just one-hand it for the parry because you can't parry when it's two-handed. As you can see, to practice, usually this is a good place to practice the high wall because it's very forgiving. You don't take a lot of damage from the NPCs, and they don't swing that quickly. Usually, sometimes they throw you off and swing pretty quick, which if you're able to parry that, then you should be able to get used to it. And once you've mastered that, and you can parry 5 or 6 times in a row, then I recommend trying to go into PvP and start parrying people because it's very repetitive. As you can see, this guy's using a buff straight sword, and he's just doing the same move over and over. So after the first 2 swings, the Castus is very forgiving and it parries extremely quickly. So I'm like, alright, I can get the third one I can parry. Which doesn't happen all the time, but that's just because I'm not the best at parrying. Even though these clips make me look really good, but trust me, there's a lot of times where I got hit by a dark sword 6 times and died, and I was like, well, that's the most frustrating thing ever. But if you master this, then you can basically win any PvP fight against a small weapon. The only problem with parrying is sometimes there are weapons that can't be parried, like two-handed ultra great swords and two-handed ultra great axes. The great axes can't be parried two-handed, neither can the swords, but they can be parried one-handed, while whips cannot be parried one-handed or two-handed. So if you're up against a whip, might as well not even try and parry it because it's not going to work. Katanas can be parried one-handed and two-handed. If you want the full list, you can look it up on Google or the Dark Souls wiki, because that's where I found it. It's a very long list, and there's very specific weapons that sometimes can't be parried with specific moves. Like the weapon art of weapons, which is the L2 move, a lot of the time can't be parried with almost all weapons, except for the Abyss Watcher's sword, but other than that. Which actually, the Abyss Watcher's sword, if you want to use that, that is a parrying weapon. If you two-hand it, it has a special thing where you can parry with the left stick. It's a bit slower than the Castus, which is why I wouldn't recommend it if you want to parry, but if you want to use the weapon art, then I'd highly recommend it because it's very powerful in my opinion. As you can see here, I'm using the Castus as a weapon, and it does do a ton of damage to people up close. If you two-hand it and you get right next to someone and tap L1 a lot, it's very fast and extremely hard to parry that. I know, unless you have this specific parrying shield, which is like a gold anvil shield, which is good against that, not as good against the dark sword. I think the Castus is still the best for parrying the dark sword. And weapons like this, like the dual daggers, even though he buffed it, you can see he did a lot of damage, but see, once he does the first 2 hits and he goes for the third swing, he's getting greedy, and it's pretty easy to parry him at that point. But that's all I can really say. When parrying though, I would recommend that you should use a heavy weapon, just because the heavy weapons do the most damage, like a great axe or a great sword. My personal recommendation is the Black Knight Great Axe, because it actually does the most parrying damage in the game, other than Smov's Hammer, but Smov's Hammer is trash in fighting. Might as well not even use it. But the Black Knight Great Axe is pretty good with actual fights and stuff, so I would recommend that. Alright, if you have any questions, you can ask it down below and I'll try to answer it. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace out.